Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are based. It is a pleasure to be here. My name is Gabriele. I'm head of marketing and community from ShapesXR, and I am here with like a very, very, very special guest here, Vijay. Hi, Vijay. Nice to have you with us.
Hey, hi, Gabriel. Thank you for having me. It was really a wonderful conversation last week. So yeah, let's wait for
Yes,
maybe couple of minutes and then
yes,
we can start,
indeed.
right?
Indeed. And while people are coming in, we are absolutely live. So I think that this is a great opportunity if you do have like a couple of, of minutes to stay with us and ask any question to VJ, to me. But maybe why don't we give a little bit of an introduction, VJ, about ShapesXR, about you, so that while we wait for people to come in. So the way we
Oh,
at ShapesXR, we are very passionate about designers and creatives, and we see as the next frontier of design also as spatial design, meaning we know that there was a lot of that's been over the past months a lot of heat and interest around company like Apple joining this world and Meta releasing their new headset. So this is where we see part of the future of design going. And by the way, we have people start asking questions. So look, your question
okay.
always have priority over mine, right? These are some are practical questions, so let's
Yes,
go.
yes.
So is this recorded? Yes, Mohammed, you'll be able to see this later on YouTube. And then we have Tatiana saying hi, Tatiana from
Hello, hi.
Texas. Hi.
Yeah.
And Zero Rapid, hi, Gabriele, hi, Vijay. Hi,
Hey,
Zero Rapid.
hi, Dino.
Nice to have you. Then we do have hello from SciTech VR, Daniel.
Hey, hi.
We have people from Vancouver, people from
That's great.
Palestine, Mohammed. Hi, I'm Mohammed.
Wow.
Um, of we people start already pounding like, is there a central
Oh,
repository in Shapes XR? I'll learn it on Oculus. It is amazing. Oh, great, Joshua. That's great. Yes, within Shapes there is our own tutorial where you can check it in, but there is also a learn section on our website that is very well done.
yes. This is
So
really good actually. Mhm.
yeah, Mani Maran, hello, Mani from India. That, by the way, is sticking with us
Hey,
very late, very
hi,
late.
hi, Mani.
Thanks, Mani, for being with us. We got more people. Hello, hi, Sidak.
Oh, that's
Hi,
great.
Aman.
Hey, hi.
People
Hi,
from
Aman.
Montreal. Hi, don't here. Uh, more from Vancouver. So we do have people pouring in from Washington
That's great.
uh,
That's really
and
great.
Tracy. So it is great to see so many people joining in. And let's look. Let's go with the question. Let's go with the people. Right. Let's follow the energy. Shapes is a
Yes,
design and
yes.
prototyping tool for spatial design, and that is why we are here with VJ to learn about his journey into 3D,
Mm-hmm.
professional, his passion, and see how his perspective is on this new frontier of spatial computing. How the design that we see on a flat screen or on a flat page on a sketch can take a new shape and form. So we're going to ask a few questions, and then after that, we will go in Shapes in VR to see some of the creation that Vijay has made. Now, that being
Mm-hmm.
said, we got more people getting in from Portland. We got people from France,
France. That's
Nicolas.
great, actually.
We got Neville from London.
Hey,
Um,
hi, everyone.
and check out, we got Divagar as well, one of your big fan again from India.
Oh, my God. Thank you, Divankar.
Here we go. Jayapal also, hi guys, hello from India. So we do get a
Hey,
big
hello, hello.
representation.
Oh,
Machine
that's
from
great, actually. Okay, Pakistan. Hi, Majid. Oh, hi, Jaipal. It's really wonderful to be here. And it's late night, but people are here. So that's really great.
Yeah.
uh,
So we got a question, Monica. Are you going to talk about augmented reality and spatial experiences? Yes, this is what we're going to talk about, and many of them are going to be for headsets. So we're going to look at, for example, what's going to happen, what you can design on, for example, a Quest Pro, what you will be able to design on a Vision Pro. So this is some of the topic that we're going to discuss. We have people from Chile.
yeah,
Guys, let's dive in. VJ, who are you?
yes.
Tell us shortly about you, and then Of course, guys, keep the question coming. More than happy to hand them over to Vijay as soon as he has managed to at least introduce himself.
Yeah, yeah. So even this first question is very big, but let's summarize my journey, uh, who I am from to what I am doing right now. Okay, so uh, people who know, of course, know me as a real Vijay, but my name is Vijay Verma. I'm from India. Uh, I'm a illustrator, artist, designer. You can say I can do anything. So I am also coding, right? I can code also. Uh, Usually, I am from very small town of India, but currently I'm staying in Delhi and working from my own studio to help other brand and startups build their design system, visual designs, and branding, or anything related to design. I help them to build their design team and even set up their initial maybe Figma files and all. So I just work as a consultant at the moment. For over the year, I experimented. I learned a lots of different stuff. But if you talk about professional journey, it's very up and down. Very few people know my professional journey. You can't say professional, but I started as a uh, electrician. I was doing electric repairing work when after finishing my schooling. It's very early days of a story. That time even I don't know about the computer, but I realized I wanted to do something which is different than what people around me were doing that time in my town. So I joined a computer institute where I learned basic of computer. Like that time, like Word, Excel, and internet is enough to you are a computer professional, right? So that is how it started as a computer journey. But still, that is not that exciting or interesting. So I left the electric work I was doing and joined a photo studio where I first introduced to this Photoshop. So the Photoshop is the like
Photoshop. Right? Because
Photoshop,
at that
and
time,
then
was like, what? What can you do
what?
here? Crazy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, stage, yeah, yeah. And the era, I'm 90s kid, so uh, like that time, computer internet was not that good. It's like if you open a web page, you have to wait for 5 or 10 minutes to load, right? But I was like very curious to know about these things, so I started learning more about Photoshop. That time there was a lots of article written like text effect, photo editing, and all. So I just like hungry to create and do stuffs inside Photoshop. So I keep doing that, and then I realized this is also not what is the future. So I decided to join college again. Like I left a study after a schooling, but after then I realized I have to learn more about it. But I was from a small town, so I just joined like local college and completed the like graduation in computer. It's called BCA here, Bachelor in Computer Applications. So after finishing BCA, still and second problem was like uh, my education background was not that good that time. But when I start, like there are no people who will help me, like mentorship and all. Currently there are lots of things, right, online, and people talking about it. You can go to seminar and attend a workshop and you learn a lot of stuff. That time it was not available. So I thought let's do this also, let's do that also. Then I finished post graduation, and then after completing post graduation, uh, I had to work. So I joined a startup as a emailer. Like my work was like create a email design in Photoshop, use that slash tool in Photoshop, and then convert in HTML stuff. And I had to do it daily. Boring task. It's very boring task, but I had to do because I have to do something. Because I finished post graduation and there was no job options there. There was no job option. So at least I finished two 2 year there. In that time of the 2 year, I realized I have to do really different and something unique. So like that, my creative hunger should I wanted to create something. That's the only thing. So I started creating illustration daily. This was the story of 2016, I guess. Yeah, 2016. I started one illustration daily and started posting on Instagram. That time Instagram was very very good. Like people are very creative. People are where their community was nice, appreciating community. So I started creating illustration and I post daily on Instagram. That was the task I started doing. So you can say this is the original journey I was on that route 2016. And in that 100 days period, I got lots of DM and appreciation. People love my work. Someone give me opportunity to work for their startup as like freelance. There were like first gig I got from Instagram and Dribble. Uh, can you create illustration for me? So even that time I don't know how to charge. So I still remember the first earned money from this professional journey was $25. I charged $25 to create one illustration. This was the story of 2016, 17 around. And after then, I decided to quit that job I was doing, that emailer thing, and decided to I will do only freelance. I was doing freelance, and then I was happy. Like people like came from different platform, LinkedIn, Instagram, Dribble.
Yeah,
So
and so what is the moment that actually, because many people also know you for your Figma mastery, right? Because I mean that's or at least that's how I got to know you in a way. Like turning also
yeah,
Figma as a design tool into a truly illustration tool. And by the way, sorry, Vijay, I've got more people coming in again. Richa from India. We got
hey,
Angelo
hi,
from California. We got more from Canada, USA, and we have got Kami just
hey everyone,
commenting on
hi
what you're
everyone.
mentioning. What a cool career origin. I think that also shows how
Ah,
you can kind of work your way up, and sometimes like a formal education is not the only way to find a path. So it's like
yeah,
pivoting and
exactly.
changing and finding what
Yeah,
you're
like
passionate.
I was just looking for the path. What will be the like things which will lead me to something which I enjoy, right? So I don't have that traditional background of design. I just learn things from internet, or I just experimented with myself until I succeed, right? So learn by doing things is something like good to learn anything. So about Figma, so yeah, these are the journey for like I started doing this freelance thing. Then I joined full time as a designer also. So there I first introduced to this Figma thing. Before that, I was doing Sketch, Illustrator, and Photoshop, and all those things to create designs. But when I joined one company as a designer, product designer, Zomato, where I first I started working with Figma because my task was I want they wanted to create a design system, and the main reason to using Figma was collaboration, because when you create something, people can come and then comment and even collaborate, right? So the only thing I started using Figma over Sketch was that collaboration. But after then I realized Figma is something I always wanted to use for anything, not just for designing screens, but you can create illustration, you can do icons. Even nowadays, like if I have an idea, I just wrote directly in Figma instead of Note or something like that, right? So that's how I introduced to Figma. And after then, I just use it for everything. Very first illustration I created was a soul illustration after watching that Pixar movie. I still remembered, I think it was December 2020 or 19 when I created very first illustration directly. Of course, I created illustration in Figma before, but that illustration was challenging because on that soul illustration there was lots of detailing and lighting, and that achieving those things was little complex. But I realized creating these illustration in Figma is easy compared to uh, other traditional tool, because those tools are very bulky. There are lots of options available, even if you want to do small things. So that's how I started using Figma. And then I started creating a lots of different stuff. UI kit for designer friends, illustration, of course. And then I believe in learning and sharing. So I started sharing those tips, small tips and tricks, and even hacks. You can achieve this, and yeah.
Yeah,
So
and this is a good point because I mean, what you said is that you started posting on Instagram, and then you kind of now you said that you started working on different things and experimenting with Figma in a way that maybe was not that common, right? In a way, and but still
yes,
posting and sharing, right? So how do
yeah.
you actually, as a designer, right, as a creative, how would you say do you actually stand out right now? Because it's a very crowded space.
Yeah, I think that's very interesting question. It's important question also, because everybody is grinding on the social media platform. But I think even we have everything on our fingertips, right? But still that importance of using those resources, people don't know about it. I started my career their internet was very like a small, right? Now like you are always on internet, be easily distracted from bad thing compared to good thing you grasp from that internet, right? So I believe, even if you, there are like most of the resources available out there are free, you can learn anything. But when you started learning, you easily distracted by those information which is not required at the moment. If you search something on YouTube to learn something, and if suddenly you realize, oh, let's click on this, and you distracted from there. So that is the time problem, right? We thought we have like lots of different, I don't know, I'm trying to articulate what I'm trying to say. So if you have time, you have resources, but you are not utilizing it
No,
in better
that
way,
I understand your
right?
point. So that for sure. So when you are in always connected mode, whatever you are, whether you're working, whether you are around, then that leads to a lot of distractions, right? The fact, my question was more like, how do you stand out
A
as
style.
a
Yes,
designer?
exactly. I'm coming to that point. So
Oh, so
okay. So I believe, so of course currently, if you are not on social media, like it's very you are very good, but people will maybe not recognize. So social media is important, internet is important, but creating some, so I think there are two factors, two important things I believe is, one thing is create something is which is relevant to you and you, the community you are representing, right? So first one key factor is this, and second is uniqueness. So either this or this, right? So create
mhm.
something which is required for the community, so people will know from that. Whenever people use it, people will know it, right? Or secondly, just create something which is totally unique, right? So these are the main factor I think to a standard. But people currently I saw, I observe. I don't use social media much. I just if I learn something, I post it, and then I just left it, because I saw people are talking and debating on nonsense stuffs on internet. So just create stuff which is relevant to people, and just uh,
right?
Be
And
unique.
this,
That's right.
yeah, and so this, I think, what is important also to say is like try to identify that community, that sub community, right? So for example, if you're a
Yes, yes.
designer, maybe you should try to find, okay, who are the people within the design world that I want to talk to? Okay, in your case, maybe it's like the Figma user, or a kind of
Mm,
look that is kind of like playful, right? And that is a
mm.
bit, to some extent, what, and correct me, Vijay, if I'm wrong, but it's just looking at the kind of energy that your illustration give. It's like it's playful, it's happy, right? So
Yes.
the point is, try to, as a designer, try to find a community, a sub community, right, that you can
Mm,
target, that you can talk to, and then
mm.
try to find ways in which what you do can be unique, right? So those are the two
Unique,
things that.
unique or use, either unique or useful, right? You
Okay.
can't create something always unique, right? It can, if it is useful, even you are creating a single icon which is useful, people will know from those things, right? So either you can be unique, you can be both, right? But just pick one stuff and then don't just mimic other people's work and just do the stuff. Try to, of course, mimic, but give your own styles. This will come over the year, but try to find your style or uniqueness. So that's how you
Yeah.
can stand out from the crowd, right? So I hope this is helpful tip. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And by the way, just as a middle ground, remember, I'm open to your questions. So guys, remember to write them down, and I will be more than happy to ask them to Vijay. Don't be hesitant. I think you don't get maybe a lot of opportunity to keep asking questions live directly. So don't miss this opportunity as you are here. I do have one more because
Mhm.
I think I do remember you starting indeed with those illustrations back in the day, 2020, when I started seeing you a bit around. And more recently, I'm seeing more 3D in
Yeah.
various shapes or form. Uh, I mean, why? What was the trigger?
So see, same thing, right? I always wanted to create a stuff. Like I just wanted to learn new stuff. I want like curiosity, creativity, and creations. Like there are three things I always like looking for. So I was doing that UI design stuff after creating those 100 day challenge of illustration. I started doing UI stuff. I was happy there. I created design system. It was named Susi. I wrote about it. People loved it. Even Brad Frost retweeted it about it. So that was like achievement. But I wanted to do something different in now different field. And 3D, I always wanted to create something, create my own 3D stuff. But back in those days, uh, for like creating something on 3D, you have to build a powerful PC. Even I remember I was like I had a monthly subscription of Digit and Chip kind of computer magazine where you will get DVDs free for
Right.
free trial resources, right? So I had Maya 8 trial version that time, but I can't use it, right? But now I build my own custom PC, and I realized I will create those things which I always wanted to create. So I started learning 3D, uh, and then see, I told you like, yeah, you can learn from tutorial, but creating something by doing is more important than just following the tutorial. So I take a challenge to create a set of icons uh, during the learning process of creating those learning the
Mhm.
blender, and then I release it as a like release for the community 3dicons.co. People love it, right? The response give me the motivation to create more stuff, and of course I always wanted to create 3D stuff, so I thought let's
Why do you
let's
say you
let's
always wanted to create 3D stuff? Like, what's that? So what was stopping you at the beginning was the fact that you didn't have enough freedom because you were focused on certain things, or you didn't, the PC was not allowing you. So it
lots of, I
sounded like
think
you
it,
always wanted to create in 3D, and at some point you managed. What was the stopper for starting doing that?
see, I think, see, so from where I came, computer was like very premium stuff. I didn't touch computer until like that. period after schooling, even when I started learning computer, right? But the cartoons always somehow in subconscious mind, I really loved cartoons. Even I watch cartoon and animation movie these days, and
Mm.
when I watch those things, always trigger something inside my head. I wanted to create those things. I can't create completely full fledged that thing, but that hunger is still inside me. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
why I thought now I can fulfill this stuff more than like just creating those illustration and UI design.
Understand.
So, and
Understand.
of course AR, if you uh, like connect this 3D world with AR VR, I think 3D is the future with AR VR, because when you design something in a space, 3D space, you will create things in which is in 3D, right? This will be not always 2D. So I think this is good transition,
Yeah, yeah,
and for both,
absolutely.
right? Personal both, right? Yeah.
Understand. I just want to get a question from Rangesh that is very technical, and maybe we can also reframe it. But is there any easy way to unwrap models in Blender? I always get glitches while importing the assets to Unity. Maybe the question would be also, where do you actually find answers to technical questions that you don't know about? Necessarily, maybe not necessarily unwrapping models, but maybe because the question is maybe
Yeah.
broad. But leave it up to you to
So
answer.
this, yeah, I think Rangesh, I started using Unity little bit, but I directly jumped to Unreal. Then I know more about Unreal than Unity, but I believe if you export anything in FVX file, it's supported for most of the game engine.
Mhm.
So it's little technical, but I don't know. Maybe just try to convert your model in mesh first, if there are some glitch and all. So just convert model in mesh, and then check your normals are right, which is important. Even ShapesXR, sometime I struggle with this thing. So check your normals is right, and sometime what happened is there are multiple overlapping vertex. So in Blender there are options called merge by distance. So go to edit mode and then merge by distance, and then export
There
to
you have it.
FBX. Yeah, so I think this will be helpful. Otherwise, go to community. Community is very helpful. Whenever I stuck somewhere, I go to Unreal community. They help me a lot. So
Nice, nice.
about your question, same. Hmm. So
No,
you
no.
are
I
talking
was saying
broad.
because we were talking about indeed about 3D, and then you say about the transition. And this, I think, it's a good link also to what Angelo was asking. How do you look for inspiration in spatial design from other artists in other spaces, architecture, furniture, painting? If so, what are your favorite designers in those other spaces? So I think it's a good transition. Like, what is now your take on spatial design, and how? What do you actually look up to?
I really enjoy it because when I was inside the SpaceX, ShapesXR, I feel like, okay, this is my space. I can just uh, throw everything here and there and just arrange and create stuff. Uh, you're talking about transition and the
Yeah, yeah,
question.
yeah.
What was
I'm
the
more
question?
talking about,
So,
so let's so as a 2D, as a designer, right? Designer, illustrator, creatives, right? And then there is this different world, right, where part of the creation process can take place in 3D, right, where what you experience is going to be experienced in space. What is your take as a creative about this parallel design world, this parallel creative world about VR and AR? How do you feel about it?
uh, I think there are two category. Of course, you already described it. Creator and designer, there will be always. So people who wanted to just create, it will be very easy. You can go there and just draw things, and then that's it. But for designer or UI UX designer who wanted to transition, uh, at least they have to first little bit understand the UX principle of this AR VR thing, because the guideline you studied for creating UI for dev and UI is different compared to this AR VR, because there are things you should consider, like uh, the angle of your head, and then distance between your UIs. So there are guidelines available out there. There are articles available out there. Even all the leading devices have their own developer portal, design portal. You can go there and learn about it. I was recently learning about this Magic Leap. Very good documentation for all those UI design stuff. So just I think the people who wanted to move to this AR VR design stuff, they should at least start with understanding the basic principles. Like just like when you create a button, there about the guideline, right? 44 pixels should be the like minimum height to create a button. Same there are guideline here. The distance between your eyes and UIs, the maximum height and width, the angle between your so everything is covered on detailed documentation. So people should start learning from there first, because you can't just draw it, go there and just throw stuff. You should
And if I
understand the
can
basic
also,
principle.
yeah, and if I can also add one thing. So I think that it's also important to start experimenting with this medium and and experiencing it. So often people say, where do I start with the design? I think that the design first starts to actually maybe getting a headset and try experiences, because that's one of
Yes,
the very
yes.
important things. Because otherwise it was like, hey, design an app for a mobile device, and then you never held a phone in your hand. Of course, nowadays it's not possible, but it is possible actually to when you're designing for VR, that there are designers who says, but just design it in Figma. And I think even if you
Yeah,
want to design in Figma, it is okay, but you need to understand for what medium are you going to design, right?
exactly.
So
So I wanted to add little bit. So currently, even Apple and Meta, what everyone doing is great, but I still believe there are no innovation at the moment for UI design. Currently, what Apple is doing is like, okay, this was the your app. You can just pull this app and pull like add inside your VR space. It's not true, right? We should rethink it in different way. There should be a different approach to achieve those things. Like we were discussing last week, right? That idea about that music player, still I was playing with it and still not figuring out a real way to achieve it. But it's not like if you create your music app directly in Figma and just put inside the VR space, that's done. That's not it. It should be. It should be totally different experience. Maybe you are feeling this is how music player is working. This is how like currently when you wanted to watch a movie, I see there are like theater kind of stuff, which is different than what you are doing inside the mobile and TV, right? So I think those type of experience, we have to rethink everything. So I have something in mind, but I am not trying to explain it, or maybe I explain a little bit. So I thought, let's think differently. Think what you will do if this is the real. Maybe watch Pixar movie. You will find some inspiration there. Because I yes, I remember Ralph movie, right? Ralph break the internet. If
oh,
you
right,
guys watch,
yes, I like it.
right,
Yes,
right.
break everything, right?
See that movie or think like that. So if you are going to eBay, how eBay was working there? No, you can't just open that eBay on your browser inside VR space and that's done. That's not. It is. It should be like real stuff, right?
Yeah, I
And
do.
we are very starting. We are at the very starting of the era, right? We are at the edge right now. Going from that to that Pixar level of stuff, I think it will take time. Yeah,
Yeah, and
right.
but I think this is. I think we have discussed a bit about VR and about this. So I think that the best way for having people to experience it is actually to go in, right? And I've seen that there have been a couple of other questions that I think we can pick up as soon as we are back. But I think
Yeah,
it
of course, of
gives
course.
the people an impression about what we are talking about more vividly, right? So why
I
don't
think.
we
Sorry,
set up this?
carry on, please.
No,
Yeah,
Vijay,
yeah.
were you saying something?
Yeah, so that question was inspiration and all. There was a question, right? When you pull that question, where you find inspiration and where you find the artist. I think so. I can maybe add something there. So usually I always go to Pinterest to search inspiration,
Mhm.
but the content for VR or AR is very few at the moment.
Yeah.
So just try to change your keyword in very unique way, different way. Even sometime I just add game UI and all, and then maybe I just sometime add the movies, sci-fi keyword to find inspiration for this AR VR stuff. It's very new term, so you can't find lot of information out there. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yes.
perfect. Why don't we now maybe start showing a little bit of what we have been discussing about in shapes, and then we are gonna deal with all the questions
Yeah. Let's.
that we gave
So
during the session.
how we will do it? How we will do it? We will mute ourselves here, right? Where or
No,
there?
here we will mute ourselves here, and what we can do in the private chat,
Okay.
you can share with me the space code so that then I can enter.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
and I will
Sure.
start streaming in the meantime. So let me get the
Yes.
code. Here we are.
Okay. Let
So
me share
we are
the
now
link.
getting in ShapesXR, and as I was saying at the introduction, ShapesXR is a design and prototyping tool for spatial experiences. And I am now going to start casting to my computer and share my computer so that you can see us. Let me.
So this is okay. This is the one I shared
Yeah.
last time. Solar system. Let's start with this maybe.
Okay. So I am now starting to share. Present, share my screen. And
So here on my.
yeah, here we
Just
go.
a minute. I am coming. Just a minute. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, like this. So let me now launch the space and then we're going to meet in there.
Yeah, we will share the link later to people also, so people will come if they have
Yeah,
this. Okay, right.
if possible, yes, we can also share that. So let's see.
Okay, what version I shared with you? I think. Uh,
So now the
I
space is
forget. Uh,
loading.
hmm. Solar
And
system
we
shared.
are.
Yes. Yeah, I'm coming.
So this is a little 3D environment. It looks like you got from some, I don't know if you have modeled or you have created yourself.
Where
And
are we? Okay, are you here? Where are you? I
I
can.
am in the space that you're sharing me. I don't see you inside the house.
Okay, maybe I'm at different place. Let's okay. I need to turn on my light little more because I can't see.
So let's see. Let's see.
Shared. I can't see what I shared with you. How can I come here? Share with me. Reset the space.
Yeah, you share. Are you there?
I I can't see this file. I don't know what happened. Let me rename it so I know because there are so many names with same file. Okay. Just a minute. I can
So meanwhile,
add
maybe I
one.
could show an example.
I just rename it a little bit. So we are confusion. I created lots of copy of same file, so I know the
Uh-huh.
where I established.
Where are you
So
now?
that's why now I change the name of this file, so I know where I will come. So just a minute, and here you go. Sorry, Gabriel. It's
No problem.
little.
Let's see. Maybe you can tell me where you
So,
are, type it here the code, and then I can come to you. No problem.
okay, I just reset. Now I can come. Yes, here. I was confused with the name, so I put little X.
Oh,
Now I
here
can
you
open
are. I hear you.
it.
Hi, Vijay. Here I am.
Yeah, so, yeah. So this is what we created last time. Yeah.
Yeah, let's mute
So
ourselves in shapes, and then we can continue with the audio from there.
yeah,
Yeah. So
I did
maybe
it.
why don't you guide us through this concept that you have built?
I think I need also to share Figma file, but let me start with maybe the idea was. So what was the idea? So how I started? Uh, Let me create a new space here. New space at the end of. I can't directly create new space. I can create, right?
Yeah, I mean,
What happened?
I think you can just give us a run through of what you have done. And by the way, you do have also, you see next to the stages, you have this new feature like same page that allow people to actually be
Where?
on the stage.
Ah, so
So if you
so
toggle it
where
on
also
next to
okay.
the
So what
stage
where what,
number, in there is a little icon
next?
that allow you to be on the same stage.
Okay, got it. Got
Okay,
it.
go. I mean, you can give us a run through of the experience.
Okay, so currently I think I started with this thing. So the
Right.
idea was I wanted to create something which will give us back through how our solar system looks.
Hmm.
So the idea was to create something around this. I quickly draw some of the low poly models in Blender, and then just quickly added a concept. And after creating this concept, I thought what to do next.
Yeah.
So
I think it's interesting
I
because every time you can always get to scale and see it one on one how this whole design will look, right? So we can scale, become bigger,
yeah
but then at any moment you can go there and then start understanding, oh, this is how big the scale of the solar system
mm,
would be if I was in my own
yeah.
living room. So I think
So
that's a good point.
actually, initially I thought the same, but actual scale is not same because when I try to scale down this moon relative to sun, it was very small,
Yeah,
right?
probably the sun,
So
the moon would be like super tiny,
exactly.
like
So
this.
so that's why I just after then I realized I have to do some eyeballing thing, and then I did it. Of course, there are full scale version. This is something on the scale of what is real scale, but not completely.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
what I did was I added a list of all the planet I wanted to add, and this planet have the list of all the planets, and then I just pull all the planets from this. See, I have all the list, so I just you can't see my this thing, right? So this
now,
is
oh yeah,
from
here we go.
Figma.
Yes, I
Ah,
see it.
okay. So this thing I created directly inside Figma. I will show
Yeah,
Figma file also. So now of course ShapesXR easily like sync with Figma directly. Whenever you create something inside Figma, you can just refresh and it will automatically update. So I created this UI directly in Figma. But there are one consideration I was talking recently. that is like, okay, you can't just draw, right? There should be guidelines. So when I was doing this creating this UI directly in Figma, I usually followed that guideline little bit, and all the artboard I created was actually 800 by 600. I remember, if I remember.
Yeah. And by the way, for anyone
So that,
interested, I think you can indeed, as Vijay was saying, you can import your own Figma UI in Shapes, and we have a learn section on our website that tells, like, let's say, how to start. So, for example, 1 pixel is 1 millimeter, so you can then use those
yeah,
guidelines, and if you just type that on our
exactly,
page,
yeah.
you will there is everything. And by the way, I think that maybe I can just show here just a little example. Here, I also
Mhm.
have import you can get. Now you don't see VJ, but just to show people. So when you are
Yeah,
here,
yeah, so,
import an element, you can say that it's a UI element and pick the actual distance. So as 1 meter, you will get it, and then you basically, and then basically you get it at the right scale. So yeah, indeed. So I think that's very useful.
if I think if people can see this, right, we can increase the quality of this whole scene also. So people maybe streaming reduce the quality. Let's set up this increased quality also, though. Maybe you are
I
streaming, right?
that is visible through the head. I think it's visible in your headset, but not when you stream it. In that case, by the way, what is Vijay referring to is this setting here, increase quality, and that allows you really to test the readability of your UI when you are in VR. So if you
Yeah,
do,
with
me, it's
Mhm.
much clearer, but I don't think that makes a difference for the people that are actually streaming. So I'm gonna turn it
Yeah,
on.
because yeah, streaming will reduce the stuff. So
Yeah.
so the idea was, okay, people will click on all those
Uh-huh.
like maybe planet or sun, then what will happen? So that was the idea I was thinking. So of course I wanted to create a smooth transition and all, but currently of course ShapesXR is not supporting that animation thing. So I just created all those cards directly, and I thought just give little bit 3D look for this card, and then I decided, what about adding the stuff directly inside the card? So
Right.
initially I created Figma where everything was on the card, but I thought this is 3D space which we are free to experiment. So I just quickly created all those cards, and you can see this, right? There are all the cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this was really fun creating these things. It was interesting. So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is one of them.
Very
Let's
nice.
quickly go to that book one, right? Book was
Oh,
really interesting.
I think we got still
So
and then we can go back and
I
maybe answer
can,
a few questions from people, because I'm pretty sure that there are a few. There were also a few that were left, so let's also prioritize those. Right. So you got
so mhm.
create a poll. How do you feel? How do we go there?
What was the name? Let me come just quickly. I am here. I can share directly to you, right?
Yeah, you can create a
From
link.
here.
So you can create in Shapes. You can link different spaces. So if you click on a space, then
Ah,
you can
yeah,
paste
here it
the
is.
link,
Here it is.
and this
Yeah.
will allow me to. Yeah, here we go. So we got a portal, and now we're going to the next space.
So this, I think there was one more. When I first created full fledged this UI, there was that contact or calling stuff. So maybe last
Huh?
time we will go there also. But where are you? Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
I'm
so the same idea. So of course, this is like physical space. So what will happen when you buy books? So when you go to shopping something, you will pick and directly pull things from rack to this cart, right? So the idea was, whatever, just people then click and then you can add it, and then I added little bit frame by frame animation. If you are on same, right? So
yeah, I see that.
this experience, and if people wondering about these rooms, so you can easily find these rooms on sketch Fab or CG Trader. There are lots of resources available there. But
Yeah,
you have to learn little bit about Blender, because you have to like optimize these models to bring directly inside ShapesXR, because you can't insert model upper than 50 MB, right? I think that is
yeah,
the
yeah.
limitation.
So it
So
depends on
so
the room. There are some rooms that are quite optimized,
yeah.
but yeah, there might be cases
So
in which
people who know 3D, so see the importance. If you know 3D, you will do it very beautifully. So what I did here, you are seeing this light, right? Light reflection, right? So there are
Mhm.
things called bake the light inside the blender. So what I did, I bake these lights directly on the texture.
Uh,
So I pull this room, and still there are lights, right? So these are the baked light. So that's it. That how it looks
yeah,
better.
that does makes a
So,
very big difference. And let me maybe show a bit
yeah.
people, like if I start this prototype, let's say that I'm here
Mm.
starting. Right now, what you see is that I can actually hover on some of these books and I can click on them. And you see, then I get the
Yeah.
information, right? So this is a little interactive prototype that was built using the Shapes interaction system by Vijay. So great job here. And you can kind of like, you see, then you can have this interaction. Now I'm adding another book. You see, I'm pointing, I'm adding to cart, and then I get check out another book. And then I'm also gonna get this one from Steve Jobs. And again,
But you have to create all those frame currently. So I just added for 2-1, right? So it's working
of
for
course, that is, I
Alchemist,
don't know.
right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, I agree. And but that is one of the things, for example, that we are working on is to make sure that 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 also components have states, right?
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
one of the things we are currently working, so that you wouldn't need and maybe also to show people what I'm talking about. So we have the stage system that acts like a storyboard, and that you can
Yeah.
actually use to create interaction or user flows, hover states, and then that's why now this was our first iteration, and we are looking forward to expand that
May,
capability,
may, may, may,
frames and more. Mhm.
maybe I can show little bit if you
Yes,
have time. Let's do it. So you are on like same page, right? So what I
yes,
usually do, so once all the card was done, like there are all the cards, right? So what I did
yeah,
was like, okay, so now I wanted to add this to this card. What I will do? So what I did was I duplicated. Let's see, Steve Jobs. I have 19 frame, 20 frame for the Steve Jobs. I will create one, or let's delete all. Let's start with 19 again. So what I will do, I did first, I just duplicate it. So this is little tricky. I always struggle with this duplication part. So what currently I do, I can just duplicate it and then reduce the size, create all the frame in this same stage. It's called stage. And then, oh, suppose it will be random, right? So yeah, this
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
second frame, and this is the third frame. So that should be the transition. What I will do, I will duplicate all this in like 1 to 3, three more frame for 19. 1, 2, 3. So now what I will do, I will remove things
Remove.
from 20.
Right.
This will go away. Maybe if you want to create a transition, you can scale this down a little bit. So these are the things which you can say learning curve. But once you do, you will enjoy it. Like I love to select all these things with that lines. It's really interesting. So yeah, it's really cool. So I will do this. So if people are seeing, I don't know people are seeing or
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
but
I'm
I'm
seeing,
just,
I'm showing you what you're doing now. Basically, they will be
yeah.
gone.
Yeah, so this is a starting phase. This will don't have anything. But second phase this, third phase is this will not have this, and this is the last one, and
Everything is gone.
everything is gone. And
And now we
now,
got this interaction. Here we go.
so now let's do the interaction. So people can see the No,
No, in this case,
exactly
no.
this,
In this
right?
case, so I think Vijay, we can pause it here. I think people, I have an impression of how this storyboarding. I mean, can you play this again? Like just next, next, next,
Yes, yeah, yes, yeah. See,
tack,
see.
tack, tack, and
So
then we got
this is the idea.
going inside
Yeah.
the
So
inside the
that's
basket.
so you, yes, you can just play with it. So the idea was, okay, oh, I already had two book. What will happen? So what I will do, I will just copy this stuff from here and and just go to the same. This was the thing, right?
Right.
So I will put it here and I will replace with old one. So that is like complex stuff, but it's fine. Sometimes you can just play with it and then you are
Yeah.
happy. I think so. You see?
Nice.
So I
Nice.
will now duplicated all things to all this other also,
Of
and
course,
then
of course, of
we are
course.
good to
Vijay,
we
look,
are
I
good to go.
certainly a few questions for people for you to answer. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah. Let's
so we can
let's
address.
go. Let's
Awesome.
quit
Awesome. Thank
this
you very
and
much,
we'll come
Vijay,
there
for
then.
showing this.
Yeah. Do
Let's.
and quit. Okay, we are back
We are back. We are
with
back. Um,
from the
so
virtual
let's go
world to
from the
real
bottom.
world.
Yes, Katerina, yes, there is a same page mode in Shapes. It is available actually in our studio version. So reach out to us, to me, and happy to put you in contact and maybe for you to give it a try. You can actually even start a trial right now. I mean, for everybody that is actually here listening, you can test all this feature in the trial. Then let's go back. Yeah, indeed, Vikas, it's like adding keyframe. Exactly that. You got it. Let me go in back interaction. Yeah, indeed, Alfonso, you didn't know you can import UI from Figma. You just need the token, and then you can basically sync back and forth.
Maybe I can show it, right? Quickly. Quickly we can show it, right? Maybe.
Yeah, if
Figma to
you
how
can
we
show
can.
your screen, yes.
Okay, let's see. Share the screen. Yes, delete to monitor. And okay, so you guys can see this, right? So
Yeah.
see, I had all the cards here. I created, like, I was playing with it. So see, these are the cards. And like I already told you, we need to follow the guidelines. So all these cards are 800 by 600, which I found, I was researching and then found some article. Even this is a MetaQuest card and all. So I created everything in there, and then you can just copy the card. Of course, you have to do it multiple time, but you can do it easily. It's fun. So what you will do, you will go to import. Maybe you will create a folder. You can easily create a folder. I already did for webinar. You can come here. You can just paste it. It should work. It's adding here,
Yeah.
or you can
Control
just
V.
come here. Yeah, you can come here and then you can just
Yeah, that's it.
do it
It's on the left.
directly. That's so this you will see inside your ShapesXR. It's from where you can just play with it. So it's fun. It's fun. It's great. So yeah, cool. Let's stop the screen and come to the
Yeah.
questions.
Let me go back. Let me see. There were also. Let me see. So there is someone maybe is asking, say, anyone knows a headset renting place in India? I mean, I suppose that also India is huge. So I think that
I think I think renting thing is complex for headset, right? It's not like you are playing PlayStation, right? You are using directly on face, like infection and all. I don't think it's good for renting. And I think the Quest 2 price is not that high. Quest 2 is cheaper. Same as, like, you can buy like a smartphone mid range.
yeah. I
So
think it
if
depends also.
people want,
Maybe you want multiple people, so then maybe you would need multiple. That's why maybe you would want to rent it. But yeah, I think it's now the prices should be more affordable for sure. Yeah. There is another question
yeah.
from learning ShapesXR using MetaQuest 2 headset. It's challenging to wear it for more than 90 minutes to learn the software, build scene and assets. Any tip on learning a workflow for a beginner? how was it for you, maybe Vijay? Because that's also another
I
thing.
see it's totally new experience, right? You have to adapt it. So like it's same as like creating a habit. So when you start something, it will look like okay, it's awkward, it's feeling different. But if you spend time, maybe like start with maybe 10 minutes, then it's increase to 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Now I at least spend 2 hours daily inside this VR, and then I just experimented with different tools, not just to ShapesXR. There are lots of creative tools out there. Gravity Sketch, one of them, and then maybe play with it, right? Beat Saber, people love it, right? So, yeah, just spend time, make it habit, and then that's that's the workflow. And if you are creator, not a designer, I'm just generally talking about creator. I saw lots of people using gravity for creating those 3D
Yeah,
shapes directly, low poly models. Even I was experimenting to create a world directly inside ShapesXR. I already showed you. I will finish it soon and then share with the people. So yeah, that's
absolutely, absolutely. Let me. Yeah. So, and I had a question that now sort of flew away.
yeah, yeah, sure.
So
Let's see.
let me see. Some people, Katerina, oh yeah, I've used ShapesXR to create some experience, but I haven't played with the same page. Yeah, take a look because I think it's great. So I have to easing in animation. Can we use the same 2D animation technique? So right, I
See,
think the
see,
question is, yeah, please, Vijay, go ahead.
I think same thing here. Like currently, these things are not up. Our devices are not optimized for like high end animation, right? This is just creating stuff as a prototype. So prototype can be a full-fledged animated stuff, or can be just like what we
Yeah.
did right
But,
now.
but I think it's a fair
Like
question, right? I mean, I think that we and designers want to see things in motion, right? So this is absolutely, as for example, you were mentioning, as I was mentioning, we're working on components with state, right? That we have it in
yeah,
art.
yeah, yeah,
The thing is like
yes,
twinning
yes,
between stages. So you have two stages, right? And what you will be able to choose is, for example, ease in or ease out, or
yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
So when you have just two, like you have seen Vijay creating two, we needed to create and maybe take, I don't know, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. And maybe it was still the final result was still a bit stop motion, right? A bit. But
yeah.
that's,
I, I think compared to Figma, before like if you go back to 2 years, right? Then Figma have same thing, like two frame. They recently released smart animation. Now you can just pick two frame and now you can do it. So of course it will take time, but I think yeah, future is bright. I think ShapesXR, when ShapesXR will release this, so I will be more than happy to create something
I
interesting.
know you and many more people. I'm pretty sure about that, Vijay.
Uh,
So, guys, I mean, I think we are here basically wrapping up. 1 hour flew. I didn't even know
oh,
when our went.
I was not expecting. I will manage one.
No,
Okay,
you
let's
managed,
see what next.
mastered it. We even with a real time VR demo in it. So I think it was great. I really, really, let's say, appreciate and you being here, the time you have spent also in Shape creating those concepts. I think it's really inspiring for anybody. And the point is the same. Do you want to start creating your spatial design? Do you have 2D skills that you want to port into the 3D world? I truly believe that the best step in is to use Shapes, and we have got many people building portfolio, like using Shapes and pitching at interviews with concept that we're building Shapes. And the reason is because then the company sees, oh my god, this guy just for an interview built this concept completely in 3D. That then he can import in Unity. I mean, this is not. I'm not saying because I want to be
Yeah.
cool. This is really what happened. People landing job because showing like this kind of concept. So I really want to thank
Hmm.
you again, Vijay. Make this step
Yeah.
into the 3D, into this spatial computing. And Vijay, again, thank you so much. And I still looking forward to
Thanks.
get that music app to see soon.
Yeah, yeah. That like I was just improvising. So let's see how it will come.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Vijay. And thanks everybody that stood in. Don't forget, the free trial for all the features is now available in Shapes. You can just click it and try the full power of it. So go there, start creating, and see you around. Follow us on here on LinkedIn to stay tuned with more events like this. And I see you next time. Bye bye, guys. Bye, Vijay. It was a real pleasure.
Same here. Bye. Bye, guys.